Level 156. As indicated, we can fill in this row and this column walls, and now we see this column is gray. Now, if we look in this quadrant, actually first, let's look at this quadrant. This has to be filled in with walls because we can't have disconnected empty space. So all of this has to be walls. Now, y and x can't be 0, right? So that would isolate this bomb and this bomb. And we can see from the configuration here that x and y have to be either 1 or 2. So one of them is 1 and the other is 2. And if we look in this quadrant, we have 1 y, 1 x, and 2 z's. And the number of bunnies is 11. So the sum of x and y is 1 plus 2, which is 3. 11 minus 3 is 8. That means z has to be 4. And let's see here. So this bomb can hit at most 2 bunnies up here, so it has to hit at least 2 of these. And this one has to hit at least these. And yeah. Now, if we look here, z has to be 4. There are only 4 bunnies this bomb could potentially hit. So it has to hit all of them. And so we need walls here and here. Now y, this bomb has to hit at least 1 bunny. And same with this one, and this one can't hit any more bunnies. That means y equals 1. And that means, as we established here, that x equals 2. So y is 1, x is 2, and z is 4. So now these are gray. Now x is 2, so this, and y is 1, so this bunny has to be hit by this bomb. This bunny has to be hit by this bomb, and then one of them is going to hit this one. Now y equals 1, that means it can only hit either one of these two. So this bunny has to be hit by this one. This bunny has to be hit by this one. Now, x is 2, so it has to hit this one and either one of these two. Now, that means there can be no more empty space in this column, so the rest is walls. Now, this row is gray, and so is this one. And now we see this bomb has 4 targets, so it can't have any more, so we need walls here and here. So this bomb has to hit this bunny. This bomb has to hit this one. There needs to be a wall here. This bomb needs to hit this bunny. Also, there can be no more empty space in this column, so the rest is walls. And now all of these rows are gray. This column is gray. And now this bomb has 2 targets, can't have any more, so we need a wall here. Also, we need a wall here. Now this is gray. And we see we need a wall here. This bomb needs to hit this bunny. We need a wall here. And this bomb needs to hit this bunny. And we can't have any more empty space in this row. So the rest are walls. Now this is gray, and we see there's one space left on the board here, which has to be a wall. Level 157. We fill in this column as indicated. And now this is gray, and so is this. And we notice there can be no more empty space in this column, so the rest is walls. Now this row is gray, and we can fill in this column with walls, and the same with this one. Now, this row has only one empty space. This row has two empty spaces. That means that the empty space has to be connected with both of the empty spaces. Something like this. Because we can't have, like, let's say one empty space here and one here, because then one of them would be walled off, and we can't have isolated empty spaces. And it's the same in these two rows, except we have 3 and 1. What that means is these cannot be empty spaces, because then we would get isolated empty spaces somewhere. That means all of these and all of these have to be walls. And now, since the empty spaces in this row have to be connected, these two have to be empty, and either this or this. And that means that in this column, we can fill in the rest with walls. And by the same logic as earlier, these two have to be walls. Now, this column can be filled in with walls. And if we look in these two rows, both of them have one empty space left. Obviously, in order to make a path, those two empty spaces have to be connected. Something like this, for instance. Also, let's see here. This is gray, so these two are empty. And what that means, if we look at these two columns, both of them have only one empty space left, and the rest have to be walls. That means the path through these two rows can't be here. That's too many empty spaces. And the same here. That means all of this have to be walls. And then we have a path either here or here. And now there is one more wall. One more empty space in this column. Note, one more wall. And that can't be here or here, right? Because the two empty spaces left in these two rows have to be connected. That means the path has to go here, since either both are walls or both are empty. And since both can't be walls, that would be too many walls in this column, both have to be empty. That means the remaining space in this column is a wall. Also, that means we need to have walls here. Now, in this column, we have two empty spaces left and one more wall. Now, this cannot be a wall because that means both of these would be empty. And of course, these two would be walls, so all of this would be isolated. So this has to be empty, which means this is a wall. That means this has to be empty to connect these empty spaces. And so this is a wall. That means also that we can fill in this column with walls. And the path needs to continue with an empty space here, which means this is a wall. Now we see this column is gray, and there's one space left, and that has to be a wall.